let's explore some Lebanese ideas now. One of the main instruments in Lebanese music is the oud, a stringed instrument, fretless, of course. And I'm using a nylon setting on my Variax here to kind of get that type of feel. And a lot of tremolo picking and harmonic minor scale. Arabic music is similar to Indian music as they have markams, so they have musical pieces that are kind of based along certain scales. And this first one here, I start off in the track. That's really reminiscent of oud style playing, where you kind of hold a note and you pull off kind of, you know. And this particular track is just really free and flowing for that reason. You know, it's got a durbeki in the background, which is a percussion instrument. And this track is meant to be played like almost like a guitar player mimicking an oud player, you know, as they would over there in Lebanon. They would have that type of percussion thing going on, and this guy would improvise on his oud. This is kind of the same thing as what we're doing here. And there's a couple interesting uses for these scales that I'd like to show you, and show you how you can approach the scale. So we'll actually go ahead and use the backing track to play those over so you can kind of hear them in context. So here we go. Now you can hear that that definitely sounds very exotic. Now, in order to take it to the next step, you have to be able to tremolo pick some of these notes and pull them off, and that's going to just add to the overall flavor of that, you know. So let's take the same type of concept but move linear across the fretboard and see if we can kind of get a Middle Eastern effect on that with some tremolo picking. And you can see that even though it's the same kind of thing except for playing linear, it definitely has that Middle Eastern desert kind of, for lack of a better word, feel to it. You can also just take small portions out of the scale and maybe even extend out certain notes instead of playing them open in one position. And I'll show you what I mean by that. We'll do this again over the track so you can just put it in context. So here's the next part. And you can also take this up the octave, which is the same as the first one. And play this up the octave as well. And what that was is just an improvisation, just kind of weaving in and out of a couple different modes in that Arabian type vibe, and ending up where we began. And so definitely play over that track. Listen to oud players. You know, a lot of people are not even sure what an oud is. It kind of looks like a lute, a fretless lute. and you'll hear it a lot in Middle Eastern music. And listen to those guys, man. They're all really good players. And still some ideas for your guitar. I mean, that's what I do. I try to go in and find different things that my ear likes to hear, and I'll try to find out how I can do that on the instrument. Maybe I have to pick in a different spot. Maybe I have to tremolo pick. Maybe I have to learn a new thing that I've never done, like a type of pull off or whatever I have to do to get the sound, and I'll work on it, and try to apply it musically when I'm with my band. I'll add little elements of it here and there, and people do take notice of those things because their ears aren't used to hearing it. So, and a lot of times it's a pleasant thing because it's something different and new. So, all this stuff is also tabbed out. So go in and experiment with your own oud and Lebanese sounds.